Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Taking Up Space, a Michelle A. Mayer podcast. Always excited about coming forward, y'all. Today is absolutely no different. Today, I want to pick up on something that I had uploaded onto my Instagram page yesterday about grinding. I want to elaborate on some things that I divulged upon in my Hey Friend episode yesterday as well on, the extinction of some of these hustles that we have become so enamored with. We're at the end of the year, and it is my goal to offer you all perspectives that you can utilize in being highly successful in the year to come. Leaving the stuff in the past. I had uploaded a video, speaking of that, because y'all, I have not been, like yesterday I was so busy my mind was scattered because I had other things to do, and I didn't really feel like doing the Hey Friend episode. I didn't really feel like doing the podcast because I was taken out of my normal schedule and I had to adapt to newness, and it threw me off. And then this morning, I felt the same way, like, darn, I don't feel like doing this Hey Friend episode. So I had this video in my stored on my phone that I wrestled with posting. I wasn't going to post it, but because I didn't feel like doing the Hey Friend episode, and I know that I have committed myself to doing it, I said, let me go ahead and post this video. Even though I knew, I didn't really want to do that. And then after I posted it, I felt like a feeling kept nudging at me, like, you know what, you didn't really want to do that. So I went on and I deleted it, and I said, let me get up and get in the shower and get myself together so I can do this video. And that's my word to you. Do what feels good to you, not because it's easy. It would have been easy for me to leave that video, the original one that I posted, up, even though I didn't feel like it was a good representation of where I am in my life right now. But it was easy because I could check off the to-do list that I commit myself to every day and say, I delivered that form of content, even though I really wasn't happy with it. But I decided to get myself together and go on and do something that I was very, very much so happy with. And that's my word to you is, whatever you do, give it your all. If you're going to do it, do the darn thing. Do that thing the way that you will be proud of doing it. I don't care how long it takes you to do it. I don't care what it looks like to somebody else. As long as you are pleased with it, do it. Do not leave anything untied in your life that you are not pleased with. This is my motto, y'all. These are things that I live by. I'm not going to do anything that makes me feel uneasy. And if I do, I'm going to immediately correct it. I'm not going to beat myself up because of it. I'm going to say, okay, this is a learning curve for me. Just like I posted the video today. I know now these aren't things that are conducive to my goodness. They don't make me happy, so that I acknowledge them. When I acknowledge them, there's a mental note taken so that there is no next time for that. These are my words for you today, but I want to keep on track. I spoke to grinding. And then I also spoke to yesterday about how all these hustles are becoming very extinct. It could be me because I've reached a certain age, and so I've advanced in age, and so certain things don't serve me any longer. They may be serving another generation, but for me and my generation, it's just not the same type of response. Elevation must happen at this point. And that leads me to the conversation I have for you today, and that is that you only get good at something, friend, because you do it a lot. I posted the meme on my Instagram about grinding and how I have found that the grind has made me better. Surely there were things that I could complain about that led me to the grind, but they blessed me, so why complain about them? The grind itself made me better. How does the grind make you better? It makes you better because it chisels you. When I first came on doing these videos, y'all, I didn't know what I was doing. I don't have any formal training. I've not ever taken a public speaking class. Ever. Not even in corporate America. No one's ever saw me or saw the potential in me and said, there's something about you. I'm going to go ahead on and invest in you. I just have not had that experience. I have been led by action. Decisions that I made, whether good or bad, knowing or unknowingly, have led me to situations that served me and that prepared me for whatever God had in store for me. They were never things that I had in mind. I would be led by way of the things that I had in mind, or just out here doing stuff in life like we all do, on the broad road, having fun. Yet it would be God. It would be the attention of God that would redirect me without me even knowing it. And I would be redirected to situations that I would be thrown into, and I would have to adapt. And in the adaptation to that thing, I would learn how to perfect my way in delivering upon whatever it is that I had to deliver upon in doing that thing. I'll use these podcasts. And this episode is dedicated to all of those people that have an affinity for a thing. Don't feel like it's the right time to come forth with it. Maybe you don't feel like you have it all together. You don't have all your ducks lined up in a perfect row and your money to a particular level that makes you feel safe so that now you can invest all of your attention into it. You don't have the right lighting. You don't have the right camera. You don't have the right equipment. You don't have the right environment. You don't have the right clothing. Your teeth ain't right. You don't have money to invest in cosmetic stuff to make you look the way that you envision. All of that kind of stuff. I have learned by the way that God has led me that you can make do and you can shine without any of that. The grind, friend, makes you better. When I say the grind, friend, I'm talking about following through with your word. If you make a commitment to yourself and you say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, you follow up and you do it consistently, regardless to what befalls you. Consistently. And you don't just do it to check off the box to say you did it. You don't have to have all the answers, friend. You don't have to have the best technique. You know how you get your technique? By going through stuff that I went through this morning. Wrestlings within yourself. Holding yourself up to a certain level of excellence and a certain level of expectation and following through with that consistently. Building upon that each time you come forth with that thing that you're offering and that you've committed yourself to engrossing yourself in. The grind, friend, makes you better. There is no competition. I'm not up here competing with any other content creator. I could care less what they do. I don't want to know what they're talking about. I don't care what they look like. I don't care who they're interviewing. I don't care. I used to care about that when I first came on, or even before I came on. I used to allow those thoughts to stop me from moving forward with doing what I felt like I knew I could do. I allowed my cross references to intimidate me and say, okay, I don't have those relationships. People are going to laugh at me. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to talk about stuff. How will I even do it? I don't even know how to talk about this stuff. Where do I begin? Oh, let me go look at these people and see how they begin. And I would then go and view people only to become even that much more intimidated. Because in viewing them, I'm wondering, well, what type of technology do they have? Wow, look at that environment. Look at the lighting. Look, when I come on, I'm in my car looking regular. I could never compete with these people. And then I immediately began to remind myself, I'm not in competition with these people. I'm doing my thing. And that's my word to you. Let the grind make you better, friend. You versus you makes you better. Friend, you versus anybody else keeps you in this perpetual cycle of going nowhere. You will constantly be on the lookout and hungry for new people to compare yourself to. How many people are doing that in the world? The world is filled with people that are constantly on the lookout for people to compare themselves to, whether in their friend circle. All you want to do is accumulate more interesting people so that you can compare yourself to and low-key compete with. But after you've competed and gotten the trophy and took the L's and gotten the trophy and all of that kind of stuff and proved to yourself that you can compete, there's no one worthy to compete with any longer. I don't have anybody that I find worthy enough for me to go out and compete with. That doesn't mean that I'm arrogant and I think I'm better than people. I'm just not there mentally. I've ascended mentally to a place where I don't have any outward competition. Nobody can do what I do. Not in an arrogant way. In the most humble, the most loving way I could possibly say that. Nobody can do what I can do. That is a truth. Why? Because I'm doing my own unique thing. And it's not based on what anybody else is doing. It's based on my own fascinations. It's based on my own love. It's based on the things that I wish I had along my way. The things that I made mental note of, and I said, when I ever get a grip on this, if I ever come into the knowing of this, I'm going to make this thing readily available to other people because I know how long it took for me to figure it out. These are the things that drive me. I don't have to search for content. All I got to do was remember. What was that I found fascinating? Oh, let me look that up. Let's talk about that. I don't have to cross-reference and hunt what the hot topics are that people are talking about. I don't want to talk about them. They can let everybody else talk about them. I'm not on here talking about that. The grind makes you better, friend. When I say the grind makes you better, it is the trial and error activities. It's the wins. It's the losses. It's the rewinding of your content and watching yourself and picking up on things that you feel like are strengths and picking up on things that you feel as weaknesses and overcoming them the next time you go at it. The grind makes you better, friend. There is no theological schooling over here. I've never gone to theological school. I would love to go. I intend on going, but I just haven't done it. There is no college graduate over here. I've never graduated college. I got a GED, y'all. General education degree. Yeah, I got that. There's no team of people videotaping my content. I'm on an Android phone, regular phone. And I got, you see this? I got these kind of lights. The cheapest ones they had at Sammy's Camera. I got 2 of them. And then I have a larger light right over here. I got it off of Amazon. I'm in my living room. My doggy is right here. My life is somewhat of a mess. It is. I'm coming off of a huge, dramatic, for me, upheaval. A lot of loss, a lot of chaos, a lot of change. My mom transitioned. Maybe I'll do a video on who I am. before the year is over to introduce myself to you, because many of you don't know who I am. And not that I'm some big to-do, but, I've had a heck of an experience. I just began doing this because I love it. And I come forth and I look to make all of my content build upon one another and flower out in other expressions of itself, the stronger I get at doing this. And that's my word to you, is to tell you that you don't have to have it all together. You'll never have it together, friend. I'm here to tell you. You can have all the outfits, the beautiful dresses and the nice clothing. You can have the shoes, you can have the makeup, you can have all of the stuff you think you'll need to have it together, but it will be something else that you will think you don't have that will stop you from beginning. You will just have to begin. And you will have to begin in a way that you're pulling from something bigger than projection. You're pulling from something bigger than ego and pride. It won't last. It's got to be something you really are enamored with and you really have a fascination of, and you really like it and love it. It is the love that keeps you dedicated to it. I'm here to tell you. I come on here with my videos. I can recall years that I did these videos, friend, and nobody knew I was doing them. I didn't have one follower. Not one. And I didn't let it stop me. Friend. So this is my word to you, is that you only get good when you do it a lot. You'll never get good in theory. You'll never get good. Sit. You'll never. Hey. You'll never get good in theory. You'll never get good theorizing. You never get good with visualizing it in your head. You get good by doing the darn thing. You overcome so many challenges just by the audacity of coming through. Sitting in your spot, turning your camera on, and going for what you know. You slay so many giants. I'm here to tell you, just by doing that. Staying consistent to that and building upon that. Friend, people will say, oh, you don't have a vision and you don't have this and you don't have that. I didn't have a vision. And in some ways, I still don't. And that is my superpower. A lot of times, surely you do need a vision, but sometimes you don't. When God is moving on you and leading and direct you, friend, I have been in situations in my life where I could not forecast out the next day, let alone a week or a month. How am I supposed to have a vision? I just need to get it done. And not just get it done anyway. You get it done in a way that it is effective and you allow it to be useful to you as a release. Whatever it is that you are called to do will be something that benefits you in doing it. You will love it. Friend, I don't care if it's cooking. Some of you I watch on social media that cook, and I'm like, I love to see you do your thing. I wish you were in my state. I would be there. You do what you do so well that you garner a loyal following. People that haven't even been to your restaurant, but that look at what you do and they gain some form of relaxation, goodness from it. Whether it's writing, whether it's journaling, whether it's coming on with short little 2 or 3 minute memes. Whether it's coming on speaking to chosen ones and giving chosen ones advice and all this kind of stuff. It's not that people look to you to direct the flow of their lives like you are their Messiah. No, but you are useful in the form of a light. Be light. Whether you are a light in the kitchen cooking food, letting people find rest in watching you do your thing, or you are on here dropping wisdom in the form of your content, or you're on here making people laugh, or you on here with your little tweezers and you are got the sticker book and you're putting your stickers on different art books to create a particular visualization through ASMR. You are a light. What better way to live your life than to be a light? In whatever capacity. Useful. So that someone can find rest in what you offer for a season of their life, whether it's 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, and then go back and slay the dragons of their lives. You've given them something so that they can do such things. What better way to live your life? And the only way you get good at it is by following up and continuously doing it. Your preacher that you think is the best preacher in the whole world did not get good at that overnight. You got some preachers that can speak to certain topics in the Bible that should win awards. They have spoken in such colorfulness and such a tone and an inflection at certain times of the storyline. They paint such a vivid picture through the art of storytelling and retelling the truths of this Bible and make it manifest in today's society so well. How did they get to that? Repetition. They told that story 1,000,000 times or more, spanning decades. Repetition makes you better, friend. So any of you that are out here delivering content or thinking to deliver content and that are either dissuaded by moving forward because you don't feel like you're worthy enough, because you don't have the right training or the right stuff, or that you're not as good as you know you can be, let this word give you life. You only get good by repetition. You outdoing the you of your yesterday. The only way you will get better at doing you, friend, is by doing you, reviewing it, making mental note as to things you visualize, hear, and feel that you can do better at, and then doing it again and overcoming that weakness that you see of yourself. And then doing it again and again. Flexing, trying new avenues of communication. Let your small following, let the ability or let the fact that you don't have a large following serve you. How beautiful is that? You mean to tell me that you can actually come on this live internet, record yourself as if 1 billion people are watching you, and then go back and review it and do it again and again and again, and nobody sees you? What kind of luxury? Do you not know that's a luxury? Friend, that's one of the biggest luxuries that we take for granted. I'm here to tell you the best way to grow is in the darkness. Because once you come into the light, there's no more going to the darkness. It's show and tell. They want to be entertained. They want to see a show. So why not grow in the darkness? Get strong in the darkness. So that if ever the light shines on you, you can allow it to see you the way you want to be seen. The way God intended on you to be seen. But you only get to that by grinding it out, by chipping away at it consistently. Chip, chip, chip. Duration of time, each day. And you rest that, and you go and you cook, or you do the stuff you need to do with your family. And when you're doing that, you're rewinding on that. It's a constant meditation in your mind on how you can get better, or how you're proud of what you've accomplished. And you get back at it the next day, and you pick up that chisel and you chisel it in another direction. You become much more confident in it. Each day. This is the word I have for you at the end of the year. Many of you have gifts that the world needs to know about. Many of you are dormant, waiting for the right opportunity, the right person, the right situation to come upon you and thrust you on that path. That was me. There are many of you that I'm going to end it with this. I'm going to use scripture before I go there. Chapter 6 of the book of Matthew, I'm going to use to support what I'm saying. Verse 6 and 7. But thou, when thou prayest, 5, 6, and 7. And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut the door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions, as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. This scripture is speaking to everything that I just conveyed to you in this podcast. It's your intention. The things that you do that are your calling should come by way of love, by way of a necessity. You're not coming forth to be seen and to be praised as if you are God or a God. You are coming forth offering up a truth that you love. You are allowing your light to shine in the form of your love of a thing that you find truthful. How does this relate to repetition? Jesus said, but when ye pray, use not vain repetitions. There's no chanting necessary. You're not programming yourself. That's what chanting somewhat does, it programs your mind so that now you default into that mind state by way of repetition and visualization. But when you pray earnestly. That it comes naturally from you. When you come forth and you give all you've got in the form of your offerings, whatever they are, your creative interests, surely it is the repetition of you doing so that allows you to become better at it. But it must flow from a sincere aspect of yourself. It actually doesn't have to flow from a sincere aspect. It can flow from an egotistical aspect. But the aspect that gives you the strongest reap, the most lasting reward, is the aspect in which it flows from a very sincere and loving place, a place that is uniquely yours, you expounding upon your own calling. Doing so offers you longevity in that lane, y'all. There is no one that can compete with you at you doing what you love. Because you doing organically what you love will allow you to do it in such a way that will make your thing distinct amongst a sea of others that are expounding upon that same topic. It'll give you a subtlety that others will not have. The love gives you a distinction, and the repetition gives you the ability to become good at standing in that distinction. This is my word for you today. I'm not going to get all long-winded in it, but I really pray that one of you get this. This is the end of a year. This year is not going to come again. How many years of your life are you going to keep talking about, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that? I'm here to tell you that the most energizing and fulfilling thing you can ever do is to start in elaborating on what you love without having it all together. You will be so indebted to it because you started it and you love it, you put it out there, and you've acted on it, that you've got to follow up with that activity. And it is your follow-up of that activity that will make you better at doing it. It gives you a responsibility. You're responsible for following up to it. And there's nothing more fulfilling than being responsible for following up to something you really like to do and you love to do. This is the word for you today. This is the word. All of the people that you admire, that dominate within whatever field that you align to, only got good because they kept showing up, friend. They kept showing up. They were dedicated to it. What are you dedicated to? Are you dedicated to the idea of doing that thing? Because sometimes that's what we are. We're dedicated to the idea of doing stuff. Or are you action oriented? Or are you dedicated to doing it and then quitting and then doing something else? I encourage you to be dedicated to one thing and stick with it. Regardless to if you got one follower or you got 1 billion. Stick with it. In the end, I guarantee you it will serve you. In one way or another, it will build you up. Last thing I want to say before I cut off here, I did a Hey Friend episode just recently about having people in your life that were put there to partner with you. I not even that, but really getting our ideologies on people because of what someone else tells us. A lot of that has been going on. I encourage you to strip those people that have influence in your life as it relates to projecting ideologies upon you. Limit that in a sense. Surely you want to be able to impose your ideologies on them and then them impose them upon you. But also think for yourselves, because I have seen this most paramount over the last few years of the enemy moving in ways that are deceptive amongst circles of people. The enemy will use projection, what seems like a thing or what looks like a thing, to turn you away from people that God has put in your life to be a gift and a blessing to you. She said something on the lines of, having relationships with men that she saw something in them that they didn't see. And because she saw it in them, they began to see it in them. But they didn't see in her who she saw herself to be and who she truly was until they ruined the relationship. It took them to ruin it for them to see her for who she truly was. And then they would expect her to unsee the fact that they never saw her. And in them not seeing her, they expect her not to see the mistreatment, the disregard, the disrespect that they showed her. And then for her to just forget about it and act like it never happened. I thought that was phenomenal. I've said that a lot. Regardless to male or female relationships, because there are men in the world that have been in relationships with women that have been this exact same way. So I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like it's just women out here going through this and being mistreated by men. There are women that do this same thing. It's a male and female interaction that I'm speaking to. But I found it so perplexing because that was a very, very powerful truth. A truth that I've struggled with. You can see something in someone so much that your ideology will make them better. I mean, that's just the way we're all set up. A man can do it to a woman to a man. It has nothing to do with gender. So I don't want men to think, I'm over here, because you always got to say that. But it's as if I've seen this in you, yet you didn't see it. at the video. Look, I'm not even going to get into that. Look at the video. I thought I reposted it on my story, I think. But it was very well spoken and very thought out and very truthful. Very truthful. So I encourage you all to stand in your truth. Stand in your truth and stand in the representation of that which you love. Whatever it is. And don't wait until you think everything is perfect for you to do it. It will never be perfect. There's never going to be a perfect time. You make the time perfect by you invoking your action within that time. You are the creator of that. You and God. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's a creative endeavor, whatever it is, it's yours. You have hefty amounts of weight necessary for that thing to be whatever it's going to be. Yet all I ask is that when you do it, you don't look for outward assurance in you doing it. You love it so much that you daily, chipping away at it, whatever it is, are dedicated to making it better. Without looking at somebody else's stuff or what somebody else has going on or cross-referencing it to do this other thing over here. You doing what you need to do to create a better output of that thing that you are called to do. So that it, at the end of each day, it more and more resembles what you initially conceived in your mind for it to be, or even overshoot it. Because a lot of times what you conceived in your mind to see of it has not formed, or it hasn't formed in this maximum component, or it's now formed in its max and now it's morphing into something greater. This is my word for you today. This is my word for you today. God puts people in your life, all of us. There are people in all of our lives that are around us right now that God sent to help us. I'm here to tell you. But a lot of times it's the projection. It's the fears that we haven't healed from our childhood or our yesterdays that limit the movement of those people. It goes back to what I said yesterday about how did Jesus say you must be to enter into the kingdom of heaven? You must be childlike. You've got to be able to lead from a heartfelt place. You've got to be able to walk your paths of life from that childlike wonderment. Not like you're big and strong and you're not childish or you're this. That's an act. That is a script you put in place so that you can compete amongst men and women for material items. Don't you know that it is that childlike aspect that keeps you young, fresh? That childlike aspect is what keeps you enlightened. It is the only aspect of you that allows you to be light enough to ascend into higher spiritual dimensions within your own self. Jesus himself said, if you don't have this active in your life, in a way of thinking and moving in the world, you cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven. say, okay, if you don't have that, but if you have this, you can't. He said, this single piece of the pie is highly necessary. You know why? Because it doesn't lend its attention to the illusion. It doesn't lose focus. That all of it is an illusion. The attitude, the roll of the eye, all these things we notice that make us hide that aspect of ourselves so that we can be tough and move in those environments that all that stuff is happening in. You remember when you were a kid and you see them and you're sitting there and you got your ball and you're like, you guys don't want to play? And they're busy and you don't get all razzle dazzled by it. You're strong enough to stand there and still really mean it. Like, I got this ball over here. I don't see you guys with this kind of stuff. Let's play. I know a game that you will really like to play. In fact, I'm going to play it by myself if nobody else wants to play. And before you know it, somebody walks over while you're playing and they want to join you. It lets that nonsense go. It doesn't matter. That's that childlike aspect. Realizing it doesn't matter. It's an illusion. I don't care. I wanna see what it's like to play this game you're talking about. It looks fun. That. How many of us can walk life with that type of mindset? How many of us can do it? And not feel embarrassed because people are making fun of us for doing that. Not feeling as if we're going to be attacked because of it. Not feeling that if I pour into you and I tell you what I see of you openly and truthfully, that you won't hurt me because of it or try to. And only for you to realize and see me for who I truly am after you've attacked me and harmed me. These are the things, y'all. These are the things. I'm just going off on some stuff. You love more than you'll ever know. I'll never stop telling you. Be good to yourselves and be good to